Good morning, school. Today, my reflection section is titled Changing Gears, Conquering Imposter Syndrome and Finding Your Drive. And to give you fair warning, there are several car-related puns. Last week was a very important week for me. Not just because it was the start of a new academic year, not even because I announced the highly anticipated 2026 school musical, but because last Thursday I took on my practical driving test. Now, ordinarily, most people take on this challenge at 17, and though I did have a few lessons back then, I gave up on myself pretty quickly. At the time, I told everyone the reason I had stopped my lessons was due to the fact I was going to go to drama school in London, where no one drives and public transport is king. But looking back now, if I'm honest, the reason I stopped was because I believed I would never pass. I genuinely believed that my dyslexia would prevent me from passing the theory test and my dyspraxia would stop me from passing the practical test. So for 12 years, I let the negative voice in my head fill me with so much self-doubt and fear that I never really tried, and I gave up on myself. Of course, I learned to manage and became an expert on various modes of transport. But when I returned home after university, I quickly discovered navigating the buses and trams of the Fylde coast isn't quite the same as TfL. However, I was fortunate enough to receive countless lifts from very generous friends, family, and members of staff. In particular, I was a frequent passenger princess in Matron's Mini that she lovingly refers to as Giuseppe. But on my 29th birthday, after watching a classic film from my childhood, I realised that I was still allowing the voice of self-doubt in my head to make the decisions for me. I decided, like the character of Sam from a Cinderella story, that I needed to never let the fear of striking out keep me from playing the game. In preparing for this assembly, I realised that my previous fear of striking out, that I had been struggling with all those years, is something called Imposter Syndrome. This is a learnt behaviour and a psychological pattern where people doubt their skills, abilities, and achievements. That constant feeling of inadequacy can become so powerful that it leads to self-sabotage, and that's exactly what I had been doing, telling myself I couldn't before I even gave myself the chance to try. So, I booked in my lessons and set myself the challenge of getting my licence before turning 31. And this time, I approached it with a growth mindset. Instead of saying, I can't, I started saying, I can't yet. It wasn't easy. I mixed up my lefts and rights, developed a huge fear of roundabouts, and even booked a motorbike theory test by mistake. But instead of giving up, I persevered. Every setback was a speed bump in the road, not a stop sign. I am delighted to say that I conquered those challenges. And on Thursday last week, I officially became a licensed driver, and in doing so, I proved my 17-year-old self wrong. This pass was over a decade in the making, and I am incredibly proud of myself. But I still couldn't help but wonder what life would have been like if I didn't allow my own negative mindset to hold me back, deny me my independence, and stop me from achieving success sooner. Recognising imposter syndrome as a learnt behaviour, I began to think about what life is like for those who haven't learnt to let the negative voice in their head take over. This made me think of my niece. She's 5.5 months old, and in the videos, she is virtually crawling. She's not thinking, what if I fall, or what if I'm not ready yet? She's not holding herself back with any doubts or fears. There is no negative voice in her head. She simply sees what she wants in front of her and goes for it. With her drive and her mindset, I predict that in less than a month's time, she will have perfected her crawl and there will be no stopping her. What makes this even more remarkable is that, on average, most babies don't start crawling until around 8 or 9 months. Because she's not learnt to doubt herself, she won't just meet her goal, but she will exceed expectations. I wish I had taken that same approach to my driving all those years ago, because the power of positive thinking is remarkable. In fact, psychological studies show that the brain can be rewired to adopt a more optimistic outlook, which not only enhances cognitive function, but also supports stronger academic performance. Beyond academics, positive thinking has lasting benefits for students' mental and emotional well being, including greater self confidence, improved focus and concentration, and overall emotional resilience. Ultimately, I am proud of myself passing my test because that small piece of paper saying pass means so much more than just being able to drive. It's a reminder that I am capable of rising to challenges and achieving something I once thought I couldn't. So, my message to you is this: don't let the fear or self doubt decide your future. The way you think about yourself helps to shape what you can achieve. Take risks, rise to challenges, and get involved. Because when you believe in yourself, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. With that in mind, I want to end my reflection section with a final pitch. Consider rising to the challenge of signing up to our 2026 musical Les Mis School Edition. Being part of the musical isn't just about singing or acting, it's about daring to step out of your comfort zone, uncovering strengths you never knew you had, and joining a team where everyone supports each other to create something truly extraordinary. If you ever thought, I can't perform on stage, or I couldn't do the musical and keep up with my studies, this is your chance to challenge that negative voice in your head, discover what you're capable of, and be a part of an experience that you'll remember forever and be proud of for the rest of your life. So, step up, take a deep breath, and sign up. Just like learning to drive, joining the musical is a journey, and one that could change how you see yourself forever.